everyone. Welcome back to the show. We're back with another Training Thursday episode here today. Excited to be able to bring you back into the workout world, specifically my workout world for today's show. And I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what I'm going to be doing over the next 12 weeks. So, I'm a huge advocate of planning your 12 weeks at a time. Well, we're now in that second quarter. April, May, June is what I'm looking at. And what I've decided is that I really want to go all in. I talked about that a little bit, just a couple weeks ago on the Motivation and Mindset Monday, why sometimes it's okay to be a little unbalanced in one area for a short period of time. Well, what I've decided to do is actually get back to something I haven't done for a little bit now, and that is to get into some deeper, more intense training. And I'm going to give you a couple caveats as we begin to go through this, and then also the formula that I'm using for myself. But believe it or not, it's actually going to be daily training. And yes, I wholeheartedly agree with days off per week, recovery days. I'm going to be talking about that as I begin to go through this and also talk about the next 12 weeks. So one of the reasons why, though, one of the reasons that's led me to kind of going deeper into my own exercise routine right now is that for the next couple months, my wife and I decided to move with our two girls, 6 and 8 years old. I don't know that I can call them super young anymore, but they're getting older for sure. And what we decided to do was simply get into some warmer weather for a couple months. They've been doing virtual school the entire year, and that really hasn't changed. So it's just allowing them to be in a warmer climate for a couple months. And as, again, we're approaching herd immunity, or we're essentially there in case they're dropping, it's something that we decided to do as a family. But what I didn't really think about, because the decision it's always made for our daughters, right? A lot of you listening right now are parents, or maybe you'll be parents in the future. And then we've got a lot of grandparents listening too. And really what you're doing is you're making a lot of your decisions in life based on your children. And I think that, is typically a good thing. And my wife and I certainly do that. So, whether it comes to my work or taking on new projects or investing in something or my own schedule, it always comes down to how does this affect our two daughters? And so we made this decision not lightly because, we have to do, again, what's best for them. And we did feel that kind of getting back, meeting with other kids and all that fun stuff would be great for them from a social, psychological based aspect. And so that's what we decided to do. The fringe benefit, now that I've been here for a couple weeks, is realizing that I feel so much better and so much healthier in warm weather and bright sunlight. Now, I know many people do because of seasonal affective disorder and many other reasons. I don't personally have seasonal affective disorder. I enjoy the winter time. I enjoy the winter in New England. I even enjoy the cold, believe it or not. I love the seasons and I love the cold. I really have no problem with that. The crisp air. When I'm up in Maine, I'll walk outside in the winter with just a t-shirt on to take out the trash at night or whatever it might be and just breathe in the fresh, cold air. I look up at the stars. It's absolutely beautiful. So don't get me wrong. I love that. However, I can tell you unequivocally, based on all of the different biometrics that I take in my body, I'm absolutely healthier. I was already healthy before. Okay. So I've been healthy for a long time now. And again, I would say knock on wood, but I don't want to get into those superstitions. I want to try to control as much of my own health destiny as I can. But I look at my biometrics. I look at my heart rate variability. I look at my resting heart rate. It is better since I moved to a warmer climate. I'm getting more steps. I'm getting more sunlight. I have more energy. I'm exercising more, not because I have to, but when I got down here, I'm like, oh, warm weather. I wanted to. Also, where I'm living right now, in this apartment complex, I have access to a gym about 50 yards away from me. And it's amazing to be able to get back to a gym. I haven't been to a gym since February of 2020. So we're talking about 15 months ago. I have not been to a gym. And although I love my home workouts, and I told you about my new Rogue bike and my, adjustable dumbbells, all that, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's next level being able to jump from all the different exercises you want to do. I mean, just yesterday I was doing a 5-set resistance training program, and I was able to go from this exercise to that exercise to this, and I felt fantastic. So again, it's like, I don't know what all this means because I'm a New Englander through and through. Like, my wife and I are both New Englanders. We were born there, raised there, and just that's where we lived our lives. So I don't think, I should say we're not moving here permanently, but I will say that there is something to be said for warm weather and sunshine all year round. So I'll just put it at that. Maybe in the future, after my daughters graduate from or are in college, that we'll move to a warmer climate during the winters. I could see us doing that for sure. I'll just tell you though, it really is amazing. And so I just know that I always felt better when I was dealing with my health conditions in the summertime, always. Like, for all 10 years that I wasn't doing well, I was always feeling well during the summer times. So, I mean, not everybody can do this, but if you work virtually and you're not feeling your best in terms of your wellness or weight loss goals or whatever it might be, you may want to spend a couple months in a warmer climate. It's just something to think about if you're able to. Again, I know most people right now, like, we're not paying more in rent. It's actually less expensive for us to be here. So I think, again, you can kind of, many of us are in a virtual based world now, working virtually. And depending on where your kids are at in terms of school, it might be something worth exploring. Okay, that little aside now is leading me towards why I'm now getting into a daily workout routine. So I've just very much enjoyed my workout routines lately, but I've wanted to take it to the next level. And I am someone that is good with rhythms and routines and discipline if I have it scheduled. If it's like, I'm just going to try to fit in a workout, at the end of the day or whatever it is, something always comes up. I mean, you're busy, I'm busy, we all have super busy lives. So what I've decided is just to simply regiment it. And I'm carving out between a half hour to an hour every single day. Typically, my workouts are just 30 minutes. Like, that's all that means 30 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week. That's my typical workout routine. Super easy. It's what I do. And it just keeps me in a rhythm, keeps me in shape, all of those great things. But if you want to take things to the next level, well, you need to be a little bit more regimented. You need a better routine. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And I'm trying to carve that into my schedule between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. That's my goal, and that allows me to really put my head down, get to work, and be able to then take that time from 4:30 to 5:30. I can check in even if I need to, but for the most part, that gives me a specific score time, like, hey, you need to be done at this time, and that I can get back, have dinner with my family, and then, of course, from there as well, I could check in later that night should I need to. So that's my specific goal right now. It's what I'm looking forward to. But now, why am I doing it every day? Well, the reason I'm doing it every day is because I want to dig in and get to that next level. So I've created 2 goals for myself. The first one, not really as, I would say, not as important as the second, but something that I think will be fun to do. So I'm gonna hand this down to you right now, and then we'll talk about recovery as well, as why, like, you probably don't want to work out every day forever, right? That's probably not a good idea because you need to make sure your body's recovering. We'll talk about that. So I have 2 goals that I've set for myself, and if you've listened to my previous podcast on the SMART goal setting formula, you'll know how this works. If you haven't, we're going to link it up here today. So head over to StephenCabral.com/1896. Okay, that's all of today's show notes. StephenCabral.com/1896. Remember, every single day we create a nice little PDF for you with my top 3 takeaways from the show and then all the resources and links that you may need. Okay, so here we go. SMART goal setting stands for specific. Okay, it stands for measurable, it stands for attainable, it stands for realistic, and it stands for timely. There are different takes on all the different metrics within that, but that's basically what it means. Okay, so what I'm setting for is, again, 2 goals. The first one's body transformation. Okay, so my goal is now, I usually weigh in around anywhere from like 162 pounds to 165 pounds. That's my typical goal. I'm 5'8", it works for my body, and it allows me to stay lean all year round. So Sometimes if I'm not training as much, I actually lose a little bit of muscle. Not ideal, but that's the type of frame that I have. And then when I am training, then I get back closer to that. Well, what I want to do is I want to be a little bit more active. I want to put on not a lot more muscle, a little bit more muscle. And the reason is that I'm not willing to eat the amount of protein that I need or the amount of calories in order to be able to put on a lot more muscle. I've just decided at this point in my life that it's not necessarily a big goal of mine. It was when I was in my early and mid 20s, but it's not a goal of mine anymore. So I no longer honestly care to be 190, 200 pounds with, 17 and a half inch arms. It's not a goal of mine. It's really not. But again, I don't have that issue, and I train and work with and measure people's progress for other people where that's their goal. It's just simply not my goal anymore, but I still like to be lean. I still like to be fit. And also the reason why I like to do that is because I feel good. I feel healthy. I have lots of energy if I'm doing the things that I need to in order to maintain that body weight. I honestly do, because I'm getting in enough protein, not too much, but enough protein, enough carbs, enough fats, all those great things. So my goal right now is very specific. It's 167 to 170 pounds while maintaining single digit body fat. And the single digit body fat is going to be between 7 and 9%, not 6%, where I'm a little bit too, what's the word? I don't want to say emaciated, but not getting enough. I don't know the best way to say that, but essentially I'll be teeter-tottering with getting too little nutrition at that point. And that's not my goal. My goal is to actually keep my calories and nutrition high, but use my exercise, which you'll see in my next goal, in order to get body fat lower. So 167 pounds is my specific goal, to 170 pounds. And basically right there right now, I'm only like 3 pounds away. So that's really where I am. And then single digit body fat, only a couple % away. So it's not really like, this is not a big challenging goal, but I want to make sure that I hit it. And if you don't have a goal to aim for, well, you don't necessarily hit it. Okay. And as I also told you, that I don't want to do it through dieting, through calorie deprivation. I actually want to do it through metabolic burn, through increasing my workouts. So, is this attainable? Yeah, absolutely. It's not that far away. At all. And is it realistic? Well, yes, because many people have done this before. I've done this before with my own body. And what's my timeline? Because you need a timeline. Well, it's June 28th. So I give myself about 3 months in order to achieve this, about 3 months in order to achieve this. So this is not going to be a super challenging one, but I keep it on my calendar and I know by June 28th, that's what I need to hit. Okay. So now how am I going to make this happen? But also, what's my second goal that's going to be a little bit or a lot more challenging? And that is, I want to get back into sprint triathlon competitions. Now, when I say competitions, I use that word very loosely. I'm not looking to win any of these events at all. I'm not looking to win overall. I'm not looking to win for my age category. I'm not looking to win for any of those things. What am I looking to do? I'm competing against myself and myself only. When I start to get in the mindset of competition, it's not a good thing. It's not a place that I want to be. The pitta begins to take over inside of that mindset, and it's not healthy. So I don't want that. I don't need that. And certainly this is meant to be fun. So sprint triathlon training, if you don't know what it is, it's very attainable for any human being to complete this, which is why I invite you, if you've never done it before, to look into completing your own sprint triathlon within the next 12 to 16 weeks, because that's really all you need to train. Because here's what it is. It's about a half-mile swim, some are even a quarter mile. It's about a 16-mile bike ride, and it's a 5K run. Now, and that's about 3.1 miles. So I'm telling you right now, most people, if they needed to, could complete this tomorrow, as long as they're exercising and moving their body for the most part. Not everybody in the world, of course, but people that are moving their body, so you can do it. The only thing is you need to be able to actually complete the swim. And if it's an ocean swim, so about half of the sprint tries that I've done before are ocean, and like half have been in a lake. And when it's a lake swim, it's so much more enjoyable. It's easier. You're not swimming against currents. You are not swimming against the waves typically. It's a lot easier, but they're both great. They're both really fun. So here's the thing though. Anybody can really do this, but if you want to do it and make it enjoyable, you want to train for it. So I'm giving myself 12 weeks. So specific, I need to do a half-mile swim for this one coming up. I need to do a 16-mile bike, and I need to do a 5K run. Okay, so measurable. I'm doing this over 12 weeks. This is a 12-week training plan. Is this attainable? Yes, I've done this before personally, multiple times, and of course, many thousands of other people have as well. Let's say 100,000 of other. All right, is it realistic? Absolutely. I mean, I could do it now. It wouldn't be pretty, but I could do it now for sure, right? So I could do this. I'm already exercising. I'm already trying to keep myself in healthy shape. So I could do it now. The swim would certainly be the biggest struggle because I'm not used to swimming a half mile. So that wouldn't be as pretty at all. It would actually be difficult. And I don't want it to be, stressful. So that's why we're doing it. 16-mile bike. I'm telling you, most people could hop on a bike and do 16 miles. Not a problem. And a 5K run, that's a 3.1 miles. Anybody could do that. I mean, again, for the most part, anybody could do it, but you might be running and walking at the same time. I want to compete in this, again, only against myself. So I want to swim that whole half mile, all freestyle stroke. I want to be able to do my 16-mile bike all in 3-minute miles or less. And I want to do my 3.1 mile run in about 21 minutes or less. So that's my goal. And so I set all that for myself. And then is it timely? Yes, because the sprint triathlon, as long as it isn't canceled, because it's still possible that it's canceled, depending on the pandemic, is June 27th. Okay. So you have to give yourself that specific time. And then this one's a little bit more crazy. It's 2 months after that. And I don't believe that I'm going to do it because I don't believe that it's healthy. Then I start to push into more of a catabolic category. So I'd have to be really careful. So my pitta mindset wants me to do it, but hopefully my logical mind says this isn't a good long-term decision. And there's a half Ironman, which I've never done before, 2 months later on August 29th. And that would be a 1.2 mile swim. That would be difficult for me, no doubt about it. 56-mile bike. I know I could do that. That would not be an issue. And then running 13.1 miles. Well, that's a lot of running, and that's the most that I've ever done before. So, and I would have 2 more months of training. Could I do it? The answer is I believe so. I believe so. Do I want to do it? No. That's the thing is I want to do it because it's a new height for myself. But my logical mind is saying this is a bit too much training and it's going to make you too catabolic. It's going to create too much, reactive oxygen species and stress in the body. But we'll see. So one step at a time, June 27th, as long as it's not canceled, that is my goal. And I'm excited about that. All right. So I just broke down for you my SMART goals on what I need to achieve. So now, as you can see, as I ramp up my volume, because typically my workouts are about 30 minutes long, they're about to become 45 minutes to an hour. So that's why I believe I can keep my caloric intake the same, and I can actually just ramp up my workouts, and I'm going to begin to burn more body fat. I might actually have to increase my nutrition, believe it or not. Most likely I will, or most likely I definitely will have to in order to keep up with the exercise. But here's my daily workout program. This isn't necessarily meant for you to copy. You're certainly welcome to, but it's an overall guideline. And if people are interested in this, just let me know. Just comment below on Instagram, comment below on YouTube. Let me know if you're interested in hearing more about this. But on Mondays, typically Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I shouldn't say typically, because just before this, I was doing a previous workout routine, which was Monday, Tuesdays, Thursday, Fridays, and that was a combination of weight training and sprints because I just got in a brand new Rogue bike, and I was really enjoying powering away on that for some 30-90 sprints, 30 seconds on, 90 seconds off. So I'll be talking about that. I've got a lot more coming on. That's actually an anti-aging based workout, not even just anaerobic based fitness, but what it does for mitochondria. So it could be one of the reasons why I also feel really good now, like even higher energy. But okay, so my new workout program is this. It's a daily workout, as I talked to you about before, but you'll see that it's alternating. So on Mondays, I'm doing an anaerobic based workout. I'm doing weight training. Plus, I'm doing some biking. So it's anaerobic with the weights. That'll be a 5 exercise circuit as I do. And then that's going to be 2 to 3 rounds of that. And then I'm going to be doing biking. Most of my bikes are going to be around 10 miles. I'll begin to peak somewhere around the 16 to 20 miles just as I get closer to the event. Okay. So about 20 minutes or so of weight training and then about 30 minutes or so of biking. My miles are typically somewhere around 3-minute miles for biking. Okay, on Tuesdays, I'll be doing my running. And in the beginning, if I'm not ready to run 3 miles, well, I'll simply do a run walk to work up to that. So this is, I wouldn't call it a recovery day. It's not, but it's not 2 days of weight training in a row. So I'm basically doing more of an anaerobic day on Monday and then more of an aerobic day on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'll be back to weight training, okay, 5 exercise circuit. However, I'll be doing swimming on that day. So instead of biking, I'll be doing swimming. Swimming is definitely a little bit more anaerobic than aerobic. It depends on the person. Since my swims are shorter, it's definitely going to be more anaerobic. And believe it or not, you can build some real muscle that way. And it's great, especially if you're in a warm climate and you're a little bit more of a pitta. Swimming is one of the best exercises. So that's on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be running and walking. Okay. So run, walk, get up to that 3.1 miles, the 5K. And that's what I'll be doing. So you can see Tuesdays and Thursdays are my run days. Okay. Not overrunning, by the way. That's going to take me in the beginning, no more than 30 minutes. And then, as I said, eventually no more than 20 to, let's say, 22 minutes or so. So we're not overdoing it with running by any means. And then on Fridays, it's going to be weight training because my Monday, Wednesday, Fridays will be weights. And then this time I'll be back on the bike. So Monday and Fridays will be my bike days. And for biking, again, if you're doing a triathlon or a sprint triathlon like I am, the biking is most people are strong during the bike. I shouldn't say most people, but I just find talking with other triathletes, and I don't want to put myself in that category. So when talking to triathletes, typically they need to work on their swim and their run more so than their bike. Anyway. Because again, your bike, yes, you'll want to ramp up your ability, your speed, all those things, but you're on a bike and you're going to be able to complete that, no doubt about it. It's the swim and the run that are always a little bit more like, how am I going to do here? All right. Now Saturday is going to be a little lighter. Okay. My weight training's done. My running's done. Okay. Now I'm entering my weekend. So this is going to be a longer swim. This is getting up to a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile for a swim. So it's definitely anaerobic, a little bit aerobic in there for sure, because I'm getting a little bit longer. So it's going to be a swim day. So not overly strenuous though. Okay. So you can see that I'm working out every day, but certainly I'm alternating every day the type of exercise. So that's allowing my body to rest in a way. And then on Sunday, I'll be doing a free day. So the free day means this: I can take the day off if I want to. So if my body's sore, if I'm feeling tired, the day is off. I'm taking the day off. I typically take Sundays off anyways. Or if I'm feeling fine, and I'm within the last 4 weeks of my training, it's going to be a swim or a run. I'm going to try to bring up whatever I'm feeling weaker in. Okay. If my run's going well, great. Then I'll bring up my swim. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. I put in there or long bike as part of my training, but most likely it'll never be a long bike. I'll try to bring up the things that I'm weaker in. So that's it. And again, it could change, like I said, as I get closer to the actual event itself. I might ramp up the training, and then the last week to 2 weeks before, I'll actually start to decrease my training so that I'm not overtrained when it comes to race day. So I'll tell you though, right now, I would never do this if I was back in New England, most likely. I have before it's been a few years now, but it's because I'm in the warm weather. It's because I'm in the sunshine that I'm actually, like literally the word I was about to use is animated. Like I am ready to do this. I'm enjoying this. I want to get back into it. So I would always say before you start to add this type of training in, especially a daily training, make sure you are healthy. Make sure your body is built up. Make sure that you get all of the nutrients you need per day. So I'm doing one of my daily nutritional support shake per day, basically one of my daily foundational protocol level 3 every single day, and I'm doing the immunity protocol. So I'm going to continue with that. I'm just literally going to continue with it, but most likely I'm going to be adding in a second smoothie every single day. So the change will be going from my 3 meals, which I always do, to most likely a post-workout or peri-workout drink, and that's going to be most likely a second DNS shake during my training. So it's not really that I'm shifting my eating. I'm not still breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But most likely I'll be doing a smoothie as I'm finishing my workout or during that workout. And then what it's going to be is my dinner about like a half hour, an hour later. So it's really just a larger amount of nutrition after my workout. Again, this is what I'm doing for me. If it works for you, fantastic. But you might need a different plan for you as well. So I'll just, last thing I'll state is that this is also not a forever plan. I will not keep my volume this high for more than the 12-week period of time. I really won't. And if I do decide to train for that half Ironman, which I'm not, hold me to that, which I'm not going to do, even though I want to, but I'm not going to, what I'll say is this, is that I'll actually be taking off most likely Wednesdays, and I'll be having bigger training days, Monday, Tuesdays, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bigger training days. Most likely Saturday will be a longer swim because that 1.2 miles is intimidating to me. And then Sundays will be off again. So I'll be back to my Sunday and Wednesdays off most likely. So again, I'm happy to talk more about this. Just let me know if you're interested. Simply leave your comment in the comments below. And of course, if this podcast was helpful, please always do feel free to share it with anyone else you believe it could serve. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing day. I'll talk with you tomorrow.